names I forget at this point, have already infiltrated Earth and have already gotten to work attacking people and stealing star seeds. Trying to find the true star seed so Galaxia can truly claim that she is Queen of the Galaxy. And, well, much like we sort of got with Trunks' warning, Galaxia has indeed introduced herself to the good Dr. Gero and has begun making suggestions how he can make his androids possibly more powerful and able to take out not only the Dragon Team but the Sailor Guardians as well, because they will definitely interfere with his plans for global conquest. But of course, she's pretty much just using Gero in order to steal more star seeds quickly. And of course, the quicker she's able to take the star seeds from the Sailor Guardians, who of course are princesses from their own planets, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Jupiter, Mars, Venus and Mercury. And of course Sailor Moon's the Moon Princess and Mamoru is the Prince of Earth. She needs all the star seeds to really make claim and be true that she really is the ruler of the galaxy. Of course, there's more to this little story that meets the eye, but we'll get to that later. So, meanwhile, Vegeta, yes, Vegeta of all people, is really beginning questioning himself lately. His selfishness, pretty much all his bad qualities, pretty much. Because lately, his bad qualities have done nothing but gotten him into a lot of trouble. It got him killed by Frieza back on Namek, and his mind controlled by Queen Nehelenia back in the... not the previous arc, the arc before that. And he was practically powerless to stop Garlic Jr. during his rampage. Sailor Saturn had to beat Garlic Jr. for him. And perhaps there is something to what the Sailor Guardians do. Perhaps there's something to this teamwork, this getting along with each other, this positive thinking and whatnot. Now, mind you, we're not going to get a straight up, happy, positive power, Prince Vegeta, complete 180 swap. Nah, we're more just going to get the more chilled out Vegeta we have in Dragon Ball Super, just much earlier in the anime. Just much earlier in the story. Which might turn out to be handy once we get to the Boo arc. Because I sort of feel that if we have his mind being taken over by Boo again, in this story it's sort of redundant because we already had that with Nehelenia, whose control was even more absolute. So Vegeta's basically... okay. Perhaps there is something towards all this. But first, I must do this. And so Vegeta decides to challenge not just Goku, but Sailor Uranus and Neptune to a fight. He would take on Sailor Uranus and Neptune first. And ultimately, it's a pretty good fight. Vegeta warns them, do not hold back, because I'm certainly not going to hold back. And it's, well, a pretty good fight. Uranus and Neptune have quite a bit of good teamwork, but in the end, Vegeta proves his point in being the superior fighter, at least as far as the two of them are concerned. It's not bad. Keep up your training and maybe one day you'll pose a threat to me again. he sort of gives him a bit of a respectful nod. And then Uranus and Neptune sort of get what Vegeta was doing. And well, next, he challenges Goku, and more or less, it's a battle between them two, with ultimately them two tying in power and raw martial art ability. There's no winner between the two. But Vegeta can at least accept that and put that to rest. That a lower class Saiyan can become powerful, just like members of the human race can become exceedingly powerful and even challenge a Super Saiyan. Of course, you know, we just saw that in the likes of Uranus and Neptune. Not to mention the Sailor Guardians were a really big help in stopping Frieza on both Planet Namek and in the previous arc. And so, meanwhile, the Sailor Guardians and everyone else are beginning to hear talk that there are a bunch of these monsters running around. People are seeing these humans being transformed into monsters. And there are these other free strangers, another change from Future Trunks' timeline. The Sailor Starlights have made it before supposedly Uranus, Neptune, Pluto and Saturn were to make that barrier on the Earth that I mentioned in Trunks' timeline. So at least they'll have some much needed backup this time, right? So they're hearing that these monsters are being transformed and that there are these free new Sailor Guardians taking them out. And this horrifies Sailor Moon to a point because, well, there's probably no need to take them out. Every time they've had to deal with humans turning into monsters so far, they've been able to reverse the effects due to the silver crystal, or whatever weapon Sailor Moon had to have on her at the time. In this case, she's got the rod that she has as an internal Sailor Moon, so the arcs have caught up to each other. And so, at the same time, they're also hearing that there is this popular singing group, these free idols called the Free Lights, singing their little "I wasn't strong enough to be your shining star, and when the days were tough I hid myself from the world." Doo-doo-doo. You know the song from the original Sailor Moon anime, the Free Lights, who are really the Sailor Starlights. And well, yes, most of the Sailor Guardians are all fangirls over the Free Lights, not realizing that they're actually girls, cross-dressing as boys. And the only ones who are not so happy about them are the four outer Sailor Guardians, Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn, who can sense that these are actually intruders from outside of the solar system. Just like Frieza, and just like Vegeta was, but they've come to accept Vegeta. But still, that doesn't stop Uranus and Neptune from warning them to stay away from them. And well, just like in the original Sailor Moon anime, the Free Lights are transferred to Sailor Moon's school. And Seiya, the leader of the Free Lights, has taken an instant liking to Sailor Moon. But of course, no one calls her bunhead and gets away with it. Now, meanwhile, as for Mamoru, he has also, just like in the original Sailor Moon arc, he has been asked to study at a university in America abroad. And he won't be back home for at least a year. Or at least, that's what we were meant to believe. because one of the first targets, just like in the original anime, that that Sailor Galaxia's evil Sailor Guardians attacked first was indeed Mamoru's plane, and they have already succeeded in stealing his star seed. Now in Trunks' timeline, Mamoru was killed by the androids. This time, Galaxia's henchmen took the star seed themselves. So, another change, but still pretty much the same thing. Just different culprits. And well, Sailor Moon is starting to get a little bit worried that she hasn't gotten any letters back from Mamoru, but has brushed it off and said, maybe he's just too busy with his studies. And well, fair enough, that's what you'd think, it's what anyone would think. At least for the first maybe couple of months. And well, now we get to the hilarious part. It is now been a while. We had a little bit of a time skip here, a little bit further down the line of training, preparing for the androids, and well, Chi-Chi is getting a little annoyed that well, none of these people have their driver's licenses. And well, with Usagi and even the Sailor Guardians now being 16, they can at least go for their learner's permits. In fact, I'm pretty sure at 16 you can drive in the rules of Tokyo. Don't ask me about the rules in Dragon Ball Z, but I'm pretty sure at Gohan and Vidal's age in the Buu arc, I'm pretty sure they could have got their licenses. I'm not entirely sure. If anyone knows the answer to that, please link that in the description. But anyway, Chi-Chi is getting fed up being chased by dinosaurs everywhere, losing groceries, having to go for run for miles and miles to go to the grocery store. So, just like the original, she's making Piccolo and Goku, and not just them, but the entire Sailor Guardians, in getting their licenses. Which, you can imagine most of the inhabitants who were from Tokyo, who are now in Tokyo West City, they've traded in their cars for these Dragon Ball flying, like, hover cars. Let's face it, they're faster and better. And I'm sure if pedestrians duck down and lie flat, you can't run over them. And so, you can imagine Usagi, a lot like Goku, is not a very good driver. They're both speeding out of it, and that of course makes Piccolo want to race. And who else gets involved in this little race? Why, Sailor Uranus, of course. After all, she loves racing, so she decides she's gonna get in on this too. Oh well, they can't kick her out of the learner's permit course. She's already a licensed driver. So it's basically a race between Uranus, or rather Haruka, sorry. Haruka, Tano. No, that's Ahsoka Tano from Star Wars you're thinking of, you idiot. Sorry guys. Haruka, Usagi Tsukino, Goku, and Piccolo. And maybe Mars. I could see her being a bit of a reckless hoon. Everyone else is sort of, okay, maybe Venus too. Mercury, Jupiter are actually doing fine on their test and pass no problem. Everyone else, it's just a complete race and absolute chaos. With Goku past Piccolo, eat my dust, Piccolo! And then there goes Usagi going even faster than he is. In the name of the moon, I'll beat you, Goku! And for the most part of the race, she's basically tying with Haruka, until this sudden sharp corner comes and Usagi's going completely off the course. And same with Goku after he breaks the steering wheel of his car, and he's sinking into the water like in the original anime. I gotta pass my license, or Chi-Chi won't let me fight the androids. So I guess you could say that Uranus was the winner of the race, and pretty much Usagi, Goku, Piccolo, Mars are all banned from that place for life. But hey, at least Mercury and Jupiter got their licenses. And as for getting groceries, for Mercury driving Chi-Chi around, it's not really out of the blue. And in fact, the two get along, you know, when it comes to studying and wishing that, like, Mercury wishing that Sailor Moon would study a bit harder, and Chi-Chi wishes that Goku would pick up a science magazine every now and then. But at least with Mercury around, Chi-Chi does sort of see the light that it's important that Gohan gets some time to, you know, play and be a kid. So it's not all bad. It's not like Gohan's studying all the time. And so pretty much with that, rumors about Usagi and Mars's driving spread through the school really fast, and you can imagine the Free Lights laughing this up. But just like in the original, they do begin to sort of form a bit of a friendship, but they don't know who each other is yet. And suddenly, a monster does attack the school. One of the teachers has been turned into a phage. That's the name of the monsters in the Sailor Stars arc, or Galaxia arc. And they have begun attacking students and trying to take their star seeds, where basically the Sailor Guardians transform and begin battling. Luckily, they happen to be away from the Starlights at the time, so they still haven't seen each other transform yet. And with pretty much the whole school turning into phages, it's not looking good for the Sailor Guardians. They're pretty much overwhelmed at this point. But suddenly, Fighter Star Power! Maker Star! Sailor Starlights get. I was originally just gonna put the original transformation audio here in this video, but I didn't want to get a copyright claim. So sorry, we got my bad voice version of it. The bottom line is, that awesome theme goes on, and the Sailor Starlights go into action. Unleashing a combined attack, they're able to weaken the phages enough that finally the Sailor Guardians are able to get their bearings together, and Sailor Moon is able to use her Eternal technique to pretty much reverse everybody and return their starseeds to them. Much to the displeasure of Galaxia, because this means her henchmen are failing yet again. And that is where we're going to leave things for right now. So what do you guys think? Did you enjoy this part of the story? It's actually going to take us a while to get through this arc, because this is both the Galaxia arc from Sailor Moon in with the androids and Cell arc. So this is probably going to take a good 4 or 5 more parts just to get this arc done. And well, I'll As always, don't forget to leave your comments in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I do apologize again for this spot that I had to record this video. I do agree that all these passing cars are a bit annoying. Unfortunately, people just decided to just overcrowd my usual spot. Alright, I'll see you guys next time.